Mommy, Dad told me to stay quiet, but I can't anymore. My son's voice trembled as he clutched his Spider-Man blanket. He keeps inviting another woman home and giving her your money. For a moment, the world stopped. The faint hum of the refrigerator, the rain tapping against the window, all of it disappeared under the weight of his words. My name is Elena Carter. I'm 33 years old, and I thought I'd married a man who adored me. Mark, my husband of 8 years, father to our little boy, my supposed partner in everything. We built our life together from scratch. My marketing business paid our bills, his charm paid for our social circle. And now, apparently, his charm was paying for her. I forced a smile for my son, brushing a strand of hair from his forehead. Thank you for telling me, sweetheart. You were very brave. He nodded, innocent eyes wide, unaware that he had just shattered my world and handed me my weapon. That night, I called my assistant and canceled my flight for the next morning. Tell them I'm sick. Food poisoning, I said flatly. In reality, I was perfectly fine and sharper than I'd ever been. Because if Mark wanted to play games in my house with my money, then I'd show him what happens when a woman stops being blind and starts being strategic. The trap was already forming, and this time I wouldn't miss. The next morning, I made sure everything looked normal. I brewed coffee, packed my son's lunch, and kissed his forehead like any other day. The mask of calm had never felt heavier. Mark was downstairs, humming while making toast. He looked up, startled to see me still home. I thought your flight was early, he said, flashing that salesman smile I used to find charming. Got sick last night, I murmured, pouring my coffee. Might fly out tomorrow if I feel better. He nodded, pretending to care. That's too bad, babe. Try to rest. But I saw it, the flicker in his eyes. That flash of disappointment. His plans for the day had just been ruined, and he was calculating how to rearrange his little secret rendezvous. When he left for work, I followed 10 minutes later, driving the opposite direction, straight to Rachel, my assistant. We'd worked together for 5 years, and she was more loyal than most family. I told her everything. Jesus, Elena, she whispered. What do you want to do? I smiled, cold and steady. I want proof. Real proof. By noon, Rachel had arranged a small favor, a discreet security consultant who owed her a favor. By sunset, my home security system was linked to a cloud drive that only I could access. The stage was set. All I had to do now was wait for my husband and his mistress to walk right into my camera's frame. 2 nights later, the universe delivered exactly what I was waiting for. Mark told me he'd be working late. The same tired excuse. The same rehearsed half-smile. I played my part perfectly, a soft, okay, honey followed by a gentle kiss on his cheek. Then I watched him drive off through the kitchen window, his taillights disappearing into the darkness like a warning flare. At 7:42 p.m., my phone buzzed. Security alert. Front door opened. I opened the live feed, my breath catching. There she was, a tall brunette in a red coat, carrying a bottle of wine and laughing like she owned my house. Mark followed her inside, his hand on her lower back. He led her straight to the living room, our living room, where my son's drawings still hung on the wall. They poured drinks. She giggled. He leaned in, and I recorded everything. I should have cried, but I didn't. The tears had dried months ago, long before I ever admitted it to myself. Instead, I took notes, timestamps, faces, gestures. I was building a case, not a heartbreak. The next day, I emailed the footage to myself, encrypted and stored in 3 separate drives. Then I booked a dinner reservation for Friday night at La Fontaine, the same restaurant where he'd proposed to me. I texted him. Dinner on Friday? Just us. I miss you. He replied instantly. Of course, babe. Can't wait. Perfect. He'd never see what was coming. Friday arrived wrapped in silence, the kind that hums before a storm. I wore the navy dress Mark once called his favorite, the one he said made me look like the kind of woman men regret losing. He'd regret more than that tonight. When I entered La Fontaine, the same chandeliers sparkled above us like they had 8 years ago. The waiter smiled knowingly. Table for two, Mrs. Carter? Yes, I said, steady. But he'll be late, as always. Mark arrived 15 minutes past 7, smelling faintly of whiskey and arrogance. You look amazing, babe, he said, sitting down, pretending this was just another romantic night. I smiled sweetly. Do I? We ordered wine. We talked, or rather, he lied, and I watched. About work. About life. About how stressed he'd been. Then I slid my phone across the table. You might want to see this. He frowned, pressing play. The color drained from his face as the video began to roll, him, in our living room, laughing with her, kissing her, handing her my card to pay for takeout. His mouth opened, but no sound came out. That's live footage, I said calmly. You've been funding your mistress with my business account. He stared at me, panic spreading. Elena, please, let's talk about this at home. Oh, we will, I said softly, leaning closer. But my lawyer and the bank manager will be joining us. And I smiled, the smile of a woman who'd finally stopped being afraid. He froze, fork halfway to his mouth. Elena, please, he whispered. You're overreacting. She means nothing. The word overreacting, it hit like a gunshot. Every woman who's ever been betrayed knows that word. The one used to silence her rage, to shrink her truth. I leaned back, calm. You know what's funny, Mark? You told our son once that honesty builds a man. Seems you've been building with paper, not bricks. He swallowed hard, trying to compose himself. If you divorce me now, you'll ruin our family. Think about him. I laughed quietly. He didn't know that he had already destroyed the family when he brought another woman into our home. When our son saw the truth, I refused to. Mark reached across the table, desperate. We can fix this. I'll stop seeing her. I swear. Already done, I said, sliding another envelope toward him. Inside were printed screenshots, money transfers, text messages, receipts. Each one time-stamped, cross-referenced. He flipped through them, his fingers shaking. That's not all, I continued. She's been using my company card. That's business fraud, Mark. You didn't just cheat on your wife. You embezzled from your partner. He looked up, his lips trembling. You wouldn't. Already did, I said quietly. The bank's freezing the account Monday morning. The lawyer files the complaint at noon. For once, his charming mask cracked completely. And I sat there, watching him crumble, elegant, unflinching, victorious. Mark's face turned the color of ash. His hands trembled as he gripped the edge of the table. You can't do this to me, he hissed, his voice cracking. You'll destroy everything we built. I tilted my head. Correction, Mark, I built it. You just signed the checks. His jaw tightened, but the fear in his eyes betrayed him. The woman who once begged for scraps of his affection now held the matchbook to his empire. He tried one last tactic. What about her son? You're going to take away his father? I smiled faintly. No, Mark. You did that when you taught him that lies were normal. He opened his mouth again, but before he could speak, my phone buzzed. I lifted it slowly, letting the sound fill the space. That'll be the bank manager, I said. And tomorrow, it'll be the board. You know, the same people you bragged to about being the genius behind my success. His eyes widened. Elena, please, I'll lose everything. That's the idea, I whispered. He slammed his napkin down and stormed out, but I didn't chase him. I sat there, sipping my wine, savoring the quiet, the silence that comes right before freedom. Later that night, I tucked my son into bed. He looked up, eyes sleepy but curious. Mommy, is Daddy coming home? I kissed his forehead. Not for a while, sweetheart. And for the first time, I meant it with peace, not pain. 2 weeks later, the dust settled, at least the visible kind. Mark's accounts were frozen, his name pulled off every joint asset. His mistress, once all red lipstick and laughter, was now a ghost haunting unpaid bills. My lawyer called it strategic retaliation. I called it justice. I moved out of that house, the one that had witnessed too many lies, and rented a sunlit apartment downtown. It wasn't grand, but it was mine. The kind of place where the quiet didn't feel heavy anymore. One afternoon, while unpacking boxes, I found the drawing my son made weeks before this all began. Stick figures. 3 of us. He had drawn me holding his hand, and Mark far in the background with a dark scribble over his head. Children always know the truth before we do. The phone rang. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer. Elena, a voice said, hoarse but familiar.
Mark.
They're investigating me. You could stop this, you know. I'll lose my job, my reputation. Please, I'm begging you. I closed my eyes. For a second, the old Elena almost answered with compassion. But then I saw my son's face that night, whispering what no child should have to say. I warned you once, I said calmly. You played games with the wrong woman's life. Actions have consequences. He tried to speak again, but I'd already hung up. For the first time, the silence afterward didn't scare me. It comforted me. 6 months later, peace had a sound, the hum of my son's laughter filling our little apartment, the clinking of dishes as we made breakfast together on Sunday mornings. Mark had lost nearly everything. The company board forced him to resign quietly to avoid scandal. His mistress? She'd filed a complaint of her own when she discovered he'd been using her as a financial shield. The man who once prided himself on control was now tangled in legal chaos of his own making. But I didn't gloat. Not anymore. Revenge had burned hot at first, but now all that remained was clarity, a quiet, golden kind of freedom. That evening, I sat on the balcony with my son, watching the city lights shimmer below. "Mommy," he asked, "are you happy now?" I smiled, my throat tight. "Yes, baby. I really am." He leaned against me. "You don't cry anymore." "No," I whispered, running my fingers through his hair. "Because I learned something." "What?" "That love without respect isn't love. It's a cage. And the moment you stop defending the person who built it, you're free." Inside, my phone buzzed again. A new message from the lawyer. Case closed. Accounts secured. Divorce finalized. I locked the screen without reading further. Because the only closure I needed was sitting beside me. Small, brave, and honest. Mark lost everything he tried to steal. And I found everything he never valued. Myself.